So welcome to this over 55s World Cup semi-final match, brought to you live here from Cape Town, the Western Province Career Club B pitch. It's Wales in black versus Netherlands in their familiar orange. We had a brilliant semi-final earlier today where England defeated Germany. Germany were 2-0 up. England equalized just before half-time. It went up 3-2 for the Germans to come back against the run of play in the fourth quarter to make it 3-all. And England won that game in the last minute, winning at 4-3 and booking their place in the World Cup final for the over 55s. And that'll take place on Monday. So it's the Dutch with the smash into the D. Well defended by Wales as they look to break out. They break out through the number 9, Jackson. So Jackson wins a hit. So a good crowd in coming to support both teams. So good turn from Thomas. Just loses ball. The Dutch will restart. So a good two-man platform with a couple of high wing backs for Holland. Dutch play down the line. Good ball retention. Well won by Verhoef, who is the captain. Umpire brings them back. Stewart on the run. So the Dutch on the wraparound round the right-hand side. Stewart, Jeroen Stewart for Holland, just holding ball up. The Dutch quite happy to move the ball back and across and look for the space, and you find Broekink, Evert Broekink down the left-hand side, and he'll set up from the sideline. Middendorf, Pieter, it's Pieter Middendorf. There are 3 Middendorfs in the side. So the Netherlands running their midfielders beautifully into space, then running out, creating space for others. They just move in again. Number 13, Friends, who just came in from deep into that midfield area as other players leave, creating space for others. So good movement from the midfield for the Dutch. Ball gets played out to Fleck. Fleck holds. Happy to settle things down. And to Burrows. Burrows out left. Into number 9, Jackson. Jackson turns. Thinks about playing it out wide to Fleck. Ends up just playing it back to Burrows. Burrows happy to play to Dinny. Good patience. The Netherlands happy to drop into almost a half-court press. Not even a... Well, now they push up just a little, you might say. A little three-quarter then. With 2 players almost on the halfway line and 1 high striker. Just happy to shepherd ball back and not let them play right. So cutting the field in half for the Netherlands. Steering the Welsh defense left every time. So the Dutch come out of there. Numbers congested on the top of the D. So the restart, Wales also employing a bit of a three-quarter press and then cutting the field in half through the number 24, Herbert. So won by Wales in the midfield. They come out, they break out. Good turn. Looking for the space to exploit on the outside. Lusig Nolly down the right-hand side. Beautiful lateral run. Picks up number 7, Walters, who gathers in the wide areas. Well tackled by the Dutch, who win a hit. So good play down this right-hand side by Wales. For Snell on the ball now. For Snell, Eric for Snell. Left, lovely little inside ball. Finds Middendorf. That's beautifully played out on the left-hand side, and Klein just can't gather on the reverse stick. So Fleck will restart for Wales. Colclough in the middle. He sort of dropped into that inverted V for Wales. So the ball goes into Burrows. Burrows patient on the ball. Feeds it left. The Dutch just not engaging, just holding their angles. Colclough with the long ball. Well picked out by Snell. Snell finds Van Esser. And Van Esser then plays back to Middendorf. Robert Middendorf. So quite a patient, measured start from both sides. Like these two heavyweight boxers just feeling each other out in the early rounds. Just held off. Both sides quite happy just to slow the game down, keep control, going to a three-quarter press. So quite a contrast from the Germany versus England game. With England applying a high press. Good run from Dixon. And the Germans, who had these lateral runners, two up front, and created a bit of havoc for England early on. Beautiful little ball through to Frins. Frins drives. Nice little cross to Verhoef. Verhoef out wide. Finds Klein. Klein with a touch and a goal! Oh, beautifully worked. Inside, outside. Into the middle. And Middendorf, Fokker Middendorf, scores for the Netherlands on the far post. What great interplay. Played left, played into the middle, and then played wide to the far post again for the tip-in from the Dutch. So the Dutch score first in this semi-final. So, the restart. Wales look to rebuild. Got to work their way back into this game. The Dutch so measured, so organized. Working beautifully into space in the midfield. Finding each other well. Being able to transfer the ball beautifully and create that goal. It was worked into the midfield and just transferred to the left-hand side. Back into the middle of the circle. Then back out to the far post. So the Dutch in sync. And in typical Dutch form, they slow things down, but when they spring into action, they spring in with pace and numbers and exploit areas of the field, create so much space. So Evans tries to gather on the reverse stick, loses the ball. And Snell will now go over the top and wide. He can't find his outlets, and Wales win ball. The top of the D. Carlisle on it. Carlisle still on it. Finds the foot. Ooh, was that intentionally played with the foot by the Dutch? Welsh ask a question. Should that not been a penalty corner? So Colclough on the run, around the outside, looks to try and win him his team a corner. All he can do is win a long corner. Colclough running up the Dutch defense. So Evans on the 23-meter area, deep in Dutch territory, fires it. Little pass looking for a runner into the top of the D, comes to nothing. Now there you can see this expert movement from the Dutch. Van Essen moves into space. They look to play it back into the midfield. And they go long over the top. Burrows loses it on the high ball. The Dutch have themselves a long corner. 7 minutes left in this first quarter. 1-0 up to Holland. Friends. Lovely little pass in for Otten. Colclough comes out now for Wales. Reverse stick smash down the line. So for Snell, plays it to the wide left area. Eventually gets to Breukink. Van Essen. Back to Van Essen. And really well played down the round, the right-hand side. Striker found up Klein. Klein just loses it on the reverse stick. Colclough. Colclough goes long again. And finds number 20, Jeremy Dixon, but Jeremy Dixon once again just can't gather on the reverse stick. Second time he's got ball on the reverse stick. It's the second time that Wales have found him in space as well. For Snell, Mittendorf. Breukink drives down the left-hand side. Picked up by Van Essen. Van Essen just is played into touch off Van Essen's stick. And they probe the left-hand side still. Look high. And Redfern comes in on the right shoulder and wins a hit for Wales. Redfern restarts. Burrows into Evans. Peter Evans, central midfield area. Out wide again to Redfern. Mark Redfern looking for options. Decides, well, let's just play it on that defensive platform. Redfern once again. Goes down the line, gets it back again. Dutch now have gone into their own half and are quite happy to hold the play. Burrows looking for options himself. Plays it in and out. Redfern now drops as Burrows goes into this right-hand channel, probing, looking, scanning. The Dutch just hold off. Now the Dutch come up in numbers, try to put pressure on the pass. And Herbert can't gather up high. So once again, the Dutch just hold off in their numbers. And they decide when the Welsh are under a little bit of pressure, they just step in and make the Welsh hit long ball. And then they're quite happy to win ball deep and retain possession. Good turn from Klein, but he just can't keep the ball close to his body. No, Burrows. Play back to Redfern. Redfern again on the run. Finds the Dutch foot. Redfern back to Burrows. Now wide, space down this left-hand side channel. Wales go looking for Jackson. Again, another long pass that eludes one of their strikers. Strikers are making some good lead runs into that space. The ball hasn't gone to stick. Jackson gets one to the leg, conceding a hit. And for Snell, Eric for Snell will go over the top. He finds Peter Middendorf, but it's a Welsh free hit. Carlisle goes on the diagonal. Fleck tries to go on the little loop on the overlap. Fleck just drops and will probably play it back to Redfern, which he does. Redfern, just the little tap across down to the left-hand side. Burrows. So Evans passing it out wide again. Gets the ball. Dutch just hold off. Quite happy to hold off. Quite happy to manipulate where the Welsh actually play the ball ultimately. Coming on that inside run, and interception comes now from the Dutch. Really, really patient. They know exactly what they're doing. They know that they are manipulating where Wales are going to play those passes. And they're happy to step into those lines when the pass comes in. So, clever play from the Dutch. Verhoef out wide. Klein down the line. Beautiful ball to Middendorf. Peter Middendorf tries to win the hit. Ball played back to Peter. And now the crash ball in, looking for the stick. And Redfern collects and clears for Wales. Klein, smash for the far post. Burrows does well to get a stick. And they win the hit. And that is the end of the first quarter. The Dutch haven't really extended themselves. They're happy for Wales to have the ball and are just manipulating it beautiful with a little bit of a three-quarter to half press on them. And they've scored a goal through Middendorf, Fokker Middendorf, with an open play goal, beautifully played. So, after the first quarter, it's the Netherlands 1, Wales 0. So we're about to start the second quarter. Wales versus the Netherlands. It's 1-0 up to the Netherlands. So Reese is on at the back for Wales plays it left. Bit of a run going on down the left-hand side, looking for support. Clough gets it on the turn, surrounded by 3 Dutch midfielders. Needs to play it out, plays it out to Burrows. Schofield down the line. So Wales win a bit of territory as the Dutch just sort of back off and get their angles right again. They win it. And now the counter-attack. Burrows does well, steps into the line. Now the counter-attack from Wales. Looking for wide runners. Oh, and that's a beautiful little ball. And Burrows just finds the space in behind the Dutch defense. And it's Evans, Peter Evans, who just doesn't get a stick to it. If he'd got his reverse stick to it, he would have had him and the keeper to just to keep it a beat, really. So, oh, excellent skill. So brilliant skill there by Jeroen Stewart. He just sort of inside-outside beats 2 or 3 Welsh defenders. Umpire gave him the hit, but he didn't think he would get through, and he did. So I'd love to have seen him get some advantage there and go all the way. In on the 45, dangerous ball, they lose it. Look to thread it through. Here comes the hit onto the foot and short corner. So Wales lose the ball. Ball transferred quickly by the Dutch. It's the number 17 for Weisberg, Luke for Weisberg, who forces the corner as he tries to shoot at goal. Doesn't get a full contact and ball rolls onto a Welsh foot. So short corner to Holland. So, Fokker Middendorf, the goal scorer at the top. Will he drag flick from the left? You got for Snell running in from the left and 2 wide runners. So, Middendorf. The stop's good. He comes in on the smash. Blocked nicely. And now the rebound for Snell. And nicely saved by Adrian Dan, the goalkeeper. For Snell at point-blank range, gets a good shot in and well saved. So Middendorf trying to take a quick free hit. So they want the ball placed in the exact spot. I realize that the Dutch may have got the unfair advantage. So, Peter Middendorf will get things going. Happy to play back to Verhoef. Verhoef will play wide to Snell. Snell changes the point of attack and picks out Peter Middendorf, who does quite well and rounds the first player, but Wales win that hit, and Dutch seem quite confused with that decision. So Wales will now try break out down the left-hand side. First touch is not good, so Frins wins the ball. Ball into Verhoef. For Snell in. Wide to Faversberg. Good turn. Play to the top of the D. Dangerous position now. It is Verhoef. Plays it wide. Good attacking position into the D, into the byline. Pass comes back. Clough tries to mop up for Wales. Goes long. For Snell under a little bit of pressure, but finds his pass. And here the Dutch will come through the left-hand side by Peter Middendorf. He switches play wide to Snell. Good use of space. Again to the right-hand side. Sommers fires it in And a corner won by Stewart. Well, the Dutch are just moving the ball from left to right at will, stretching this Welsh defence, and they win themselves another corner. So they've just snapped into action in the second quarter, moving it left and right, across the midfield, across the back four, across the front three. Lovely to watch. So now it's number 5 for Snell on the ball. He go for the straight shot. Adrian Dan was the goalkeeper, goes for the zigzag, ball gets played in, and goal is scored. The zigzag right and left. And a beautifully worked penalty corner goal, scored by the number 14, Middendorf, Fokker Middendorf, who scores his second of the game. And the Dutch are 2-0 up with 11 minutes left, the second quarter. So Middendorf now with 2 goals, one from open play, and now this well-worked goal. It was sort of gone to the right for the zigzag, and then played right across the goals to the left-hand side for it. Quite a nice little tip-in from the left-hand side. Wales go direct. Well dealt with by the Dutch. They break out for the counter-attack. Little turn, beautifully played. Number 12, Klein, just stands on the ball and sort of hurts himself in the process. Carlisle on the turn. Smashes ball in, looking for Coldclough, and it'll go over for a long corner. Klein comes off for a rest after just rolling his ankle a bit on the ball. So Carlisle plays it left. Attacking position for Wales. Beats the first player, beats the second one, fires it in. Trying to find Coldclough again. Good step, but a loss of the ball by Burrows, so Holland can just get in behind. They just play back. They decide, well, not enough numbers for support, so they just hold and look for support. Well, that ball's not on, intercepted by Fleck. Otten. Somers. And Middendorf just holds. Happy to build again. Verhoef. Under a bit of pressure. Coldclough under pressure himself, but he wins the hit. Coldclough, every time he gets the ball, he's surrounded by 3 orange shirts. So Evans finds support on the inside. Lucic Nolo on the turn, loses it. Into the midfield, transfer coming. Through for Hoof. Middendorp up high. Finds Jerome Stewart. Cross comes in, beautifully worked, and the flick over the keeper, and a great save by Adrian Dan. Well, that would have been a brilliant goal, but a great save by Adrian Dan. He's nearly lobbed by Middendorf. So Klein wins possession, goes for the quick self-pass to the left-hand side of the D. Works it into the baseline, gets the reverse stick away. Won by Middendorf. Fires it in. And Wales win the ball. Umpire reaches for his pocket. And the Dutch find themselves with a man down for 2 minutes. Deliberate infringement in the middle of the field. Deliberate breakdown of play. So no complaints from the Dutch. They knew exactly what they were doing. They're slowing down that counter-attack from Wales. Redfern plays it out wide. Lusignoli on the ball. Looking for options. Redfern brings it up. He looks wide left, and it's a cracking ball to the left-hand side. Great ball pace. Ooh, and Coldclough coming on that angle. If he had maybe dived, he could have got a touch in there. This is the Dutch keeper. Van Exel just leaves the ball. That was a great ball to the left. So, Brukink wins ball. Looks to try connect down the left-hand side. Plays the ball to Klein. Klein has it in space. Works the angle so well. Oh, and a great little last gasp tackle from Lusignoli. Klein had just come in on that angle. He was going to tee it off. Brilliant tackle. Jackson on the turn. Decides to come back. Reese. Space on the outside. Nothing on the inside. Nothing on the inside 45 ball. The Dutch have that covered at all times. Redfern. So Gratama working hard. Falls over, but good work rate from him and on defense for Netherlands. Big ball comes in now. The counter once again from the Dutch. Play it into the space. It's Frins who still has the ball, looks for support, finds Van Esser, but it's seen as obstruction. The Dutch don't complain, they just get back and set up their deep press and just work back their angles. They know exactly what they're doing. Evans. Good little touch, but goes to nowhere. Be worth their while just keeping the ball rather than trying to deflect ball. Game has slowed down a bit. Dutch just quite happy at 2-0 up. To rest some legs, just get into position, work their angles. They're doing quite a lot of ball running off the ball, but it's just moving 3 or 4 yards right or left. Again, they just take the Welsh where they want the ball to go. So Reese. Burrows on their overlap. Looks to try and work something down the right, but decides to go left as space is closed down and options are closed down. Again, nice holding by the Dutch on the angle. And now the chase comes in, then the overload of 2 or 3 Dutch players, which forces the Welsh back. Back to Burrows. Played out now. Thomas working with it. Again, precious little options for Thomas. Good on the inside. Pull and threads it through. Otten wins ball. Welsh win it back through Jackson. Now, ball on the turn. I think it's Carlisle who just gets the ball away under the shoulder. Just can't go to stick. Evans had worked his way up high and got himself into quite a good position for that pass from Carlisle. Just eluded him. So for Snell, no one in the midfield, no one, so he just decides to go left. Now players come in the midfield. It's Peter Middendorf, happy to play it back to Otten. Otten back to Snell. Snell looks a little longer, trying to find Frins on the 45. So the umpire says it's come off a Welsh stick, so the Dutch retain possession. Oh, and the overhead is poor. And Evans now attacks. He's got Thomas out wide. Just can't find him, and the ball's intercepted. Up high to Gratama, who plays the ball beautifully down to Middendorf. The little touch. They use space so nicely, bringing it left and then right again. Unfortunately, the final execution just wasn't good enough. So we're into the final minute now of the second quarter. Holland in control here at 2-0 up. Thomas wins possession for Wales. They might look to go direct now as the seconds tick down, looking for maybe a corner and get one back just before half-time. Evans again. Umpire blows his whistle and says, right, move it back. I really don't think they've got an unfair advantage. So, game on. 6 seconds left. And they'll just run the clock down. So, at half-time, it's 2 goals from Volker Middendorf, 1 from open play. He scored the first goal with a tip-in from the left-hand side, and then another penalty corner variation from him. So at half-time here in Cape Town, the semi-final of the Over-55 World Cup, it's Netherlands 2, Wales 0.
That waiting for the gun, the nerves are just too much, thinking about what is about to go down.
And there goes the horn to start the race.
No, I think it's really amazing. And now the whole setup and people are dressed up.
We're giving something, I think, to the people. It's just fantastic.
The support on the side of the road is second to none, and that gives you the extra oomph.
Thoroughly enjoyed it. The scenery is beyond what I could imagine. I seriously enjoyed it. I met so many wonderful people on the way.
Really enjoying Cape Town. People seem to really appreciate artwork here, which is really nice.
Come and visit Cape Town. We are waiting for you with open arms. We welcome you here. This will remain a city of hope and opportunity for everyone, not just in Cape Town, but around the country and the world.
And he takes the tape.
Cape Town is open, safe and ready to host you.
So we're about to start the third quarter of this semi-final. Unforced error from the Dutch. The umpires wave it on. And it's the Netherlands that are in control here in the semi-final. 2-0 up. Sommers finds Thomas's foot and retains possession for Netherlands. Sommers down the line finds Stewart. Stewart plays into Frins. Frins plays it back, and Dutch midfield under a little bit of pressure. Snell plays the ball and it hits Herbert. And he's fine, Herbert's fine. So Colclough, the restart. Burrows out wide. Fleck down the line. And Lucic Nolly keeps the ball down the right-hand side. Trying to find a way through the Dutch defense. Goes back. Redfern out wide. Schofield plays it to Herbert, who's recovered. Herbert plays quite a dangerous ball into Colclough. It turns neatly, tries to get the shot away. So, Schofield again on the angle. Better stuff from Wales. Ball is out wide. Numbers behind the ball for the Dutch. And there's a long corner one. So Keith Walters there just putting pressure on the Dutch defense, the captain of the Welsh team. Plays it now. Top of the D. Little touch into Colclough. Colclough asks for a short corner. No pressure. Burrows. Umpire doesn't make a decision. It just eventually gives the ball to the Netherlands for a stick hack on on for Snell. So a much higher press now from Wales, who realise they need to get back into this game and put some pressure on the Dutch and get to within a goal of them. So the unforced error comes in from Somers. The restart, Schofield. Burrows plays it into that midfield area, which is congested, and Wales are lucky to get away with that. Burrows again, driving up the field, drawing a Dutch player, looking for the overlap down the right-hand side. Still the ball with Lutsignoli. Crossfield ball to Schofield. Schofield down the line, finds Herbert. Herbert looks to turn, trying to play through to Colclough. Jackson, Schofield. Now it's Redfern who'll push through the middle. Still got the ball, gets the hack, gets the second hack, and wins a short corner for Wales. So that's much better, with Redfern coming into the midfield. Green card being issued for the first hack. So they've come into the midfield, eluded the first tackle and put pressure on the Dutch back four. So the goalkeeper, Nick van Exel, is an imposing figure in the Dutch goal. And it's going to be Burrows, the top of the castle. Colclough would stop. Burrows comes, he slips it left to Herbert. Herbert can't gather, struggles to retain the ball, and Holland will come away with that. The lovely ball to Stewart. Oh, and chipped through, looking for Middendorf. Just can't gather. Then Redfern, after winning that corner for Wales, has just chalked that one, skewered off his stick and over the baseline for a long corner. Puts his hand up and apologises to his teammates, who are now under a little bit of pressure. So the restart comes from Esser. Mittendorf, Robert Mittendorf plays it through to Fokker Middendorf. So Wales come out down the right-hand side, a little bit of space for them. Dutch quite happy to hold off on the angles. Now Redfern down the middle. Does he go at this midfield again? If he loses it, Wales are in trouble. No one back. Last line of defence. So 2 goals to the Netherlands through Middendorp. 1 field goal and 1 short corner variation. Nice play down the right-hand side. And Carlo Lusignoli does well. Goes inside, pulls outside and wins a corner for Wales. So, what are the options? Burrows at the top. They used Herbert last time, who couldn't gather. Do they go right? Colclough with the hit saved. Now, the breakout from the Netherlands. They look to play wide. Fringe just can't get there. So good save by Nick van Exel. Ball coming straight at him, but gets a solid boot to it. And the breakout from the Dutch, putting a high press on now, using Stewart. He works back into the midfield now, and they send another player up high to put pressure on this back four of Wales. So Redfern looking for options. Little tricky pass out wide left. Now the Dutch come forward. Look to build through Middendorp. That's Peter Middendorp. For Snell. Wide to Middendorf. Robert. Evans. Closed down. That midfield is cramped. It's congested. Now, Wales find themselves with a bit of space. Burrows plays it into space. Snell reads it well, picks it up on the reverse stick and plays it out wide. 45-degree ball played in. And for the Weisberg turns. Middendorp. Again from right, using left again. Vanessa on the run, under pressure, plays it, fires it in. And Evans does well to win ball for Wales. The ball is up and it's dangerous. The Dutch player jumps, it hits him on the back of the boot. So we're 7 minutes out from the end of the third quarter. Self-pass comes in. And Verhoef just saying, why don't you give me some advantage? It beats the first player and he's just outside the D. He was hoping to go all the way. So, Middendorf out wide. Back into the midfield. Good control from Peter Middendorp. Ball around the gain. Hit is won by Friens. And Wales aren't 5 meters, so the umpire says you intentionally were blocking that area and awards a penalty corner for the Netherlands. So under 6 minutes left in this third quarter. The Dutch cruising at this stage. 2-0 up, looking to make it 3. So for Snell, top goes for the zigzag. And just can't get that final shot away as he falls over. So the quick zigzag played. Maybe a little bit too quick. So Reese. Play out wide to Carlisle. Carlisle collects, comes in on the inside, plays it to Burrows, who tries to transfer, but there's no one there. Now quick transfer for Holland. The turn comes from Gratama. Little overhead. Two friends who can't collect. Carlisle. Denny. Redfern. Oh, and a nasty little ball out wide. Luckily just retrieved by Reese. Four minutes left in this third quarter. Can Wales get back into this game? 2-0 down. The Dutch go in the aerial route, keep it. Comes out and fields it. So Adrian Dan comes out to field that overhead. I thought it had come off a Dutch shoulder. Gratama. Middendorp. And the wide ball from Verhoef. Turn, fire, and blocked. But blocked with the foot. So the umpire awards a penalty corner. So once again, good use of space and moving from left to right. Finding Van Esse out wide, he turns beautifully and just wins the corner for the Netherlands. So now we have Gratama at the top with Versnel to the left. So Gratama takes it, smashes it, hooks it wide. 2.5 minutes left. It's all to play for Wales. They need to throw caution to the wind and try get something back. Just not being able to connect. Too many orange shirts in the midfield. Can't find their way through. Ball is played down the line, looking for Herbert, intercepted by Otten. And Otten wins the hit. So very controlled performance by the Netherlands. They win this game, they will play England in the final on Monday. Good transfer. Down the line, the runners come in. The support comes from the midfield in the form of Verhoef. Verhoef happy to go back. Versnel. Wide to Otten. Otten on the inside. Good play. Finds Middendorp. And this is just lovely play as they move ball from left to right at will. Now, unfortunately, they lose it. Burrows. And Evans looks wide left. Herbert can't gather as Otten steps on his right shoulder and intercepts, plays it into Klein. Klein on the byline. And Gratama just can't gather that ball on the front stick. Schofield. Looking for Evans. Unfortunately, he rolls it into touch. So the restart from Middendorf. With 10 seconds left. Peter Middendorp plays it through, 16. So the hooter goes for the end of the third quarter. It's the Netherlands 2, and Wales 0 at this stage. So it's all to play for Wales in the fourth quarter to get themselves into the final. At the moment, it looks like it'll be the Netherlands that will cruise into this final. But who knows? Join us for the fourth quarter after the break.
At thehockeysite.com, it's about what happens in the locker room. Thinking about the game. It's about planning and preparation. And about training and improving those skills. Looking at it from different angles. But of course, it's also about teaching them to score and win. Thehockeysite.com. Share the knowledge.
We are fascinated by the mindsets and the habits that make individuals and teams perform at another level. Let us be your thought partners and transformational coaches. Are you part of a team and you are wanting to gain insight into what ingredients need to be in the mix to take your team to a whole new level of performance? Partner with us. We want to be your transformational coaches.
So we're back live for the fourth and final quarter of the semi-final here in Cape Town. The over 55 semi-final. Wales versus Netherlands. Netherlands 2-0 up. Goals through Volker Middendorp. One from open play and another one from a short corner variation. So the Dutch looking to book themselves a place in the final against England, who came back from 2-0 against Germany to win that game 4-3 in the final minute. A real crowd pleaser of a semi-final. Ball played into good space. Dutch have the ball, but a good tackle. Carlisle looks to come away with the ball for Wales. Dutch pressing a little higher now. The right to left ball comes in. Lucic Nolly looking for support. Schofield still has the ball. The ball's up in the air. We'll play it back to Redfern. Redfern looks to carry. He will go left again. Ball back to Schofield. Schofield plays it into Carlisle. Carlisle surrounded by Dutch shirts. He decides to run it. Does well. Looks to open up the right-hand side. Just can't connect with Burrows. So the ball played into high-lying areas and then wide into Peter Middendorp, who throws the aerial ball. And the short corner is awarded as the keeper comes out and closes down the space. That overhead was meant for Klein, so he should be able to take that ball down. The keeper crowds him. And now the umpires are just conferring if, in fact, it was a penalty corner. So the Welsh keeper, Adrian Dan, had the right to play that ball. And the umpires believe that Klein had come into that 5-meter area, and therefore the hit's been given to Wales. Quick ball to Colclough. Colclough can't collect for Snell. Another one touch. Middendorp in. Oh, It's played beautifully, and it's still a shot for the Dutch. It's hit someone on the line. The Dutch are appealing for a penalty stroke. Sommers gets the ball, fires in a reverse stick shot, hits one of the Welsh players on the line, and the Dutch are saying, well, that was the last line of defense. It should be a penalty stroke. So the Dutch eventually get their corner. Middendorp on the top. He's already got 2. Looking for a hat-trick. The umpires confer again. The short corner stands. I can't tell if it was in fact the last line of defense. Looked like the keeper was stranded. So the stop's going to come from Peter Middendorp. And the strike, it goes wide into the zigzag. No purchase on the ball from the Middendorp. A re-award. The umpire believes that the goalkeeper, Adrian Dan, was shielding the ball. The Welsh say that the ball was played into their keeper. So, another corner to the Netherlands. It stopped. Shot comes in. But it's too high. Now they're going to confer. It didn't hit the backboard. The Dutch feel that it could have got a deflection on the way through. That's why they are celebrating a goal. The umpires will have a little chat themselves. The on-field decision was goal. The Welsh dispute that. I didn't see a deflection myself. It looked like it was sort of almost hit into the ground, too high. The umpires have a discussion. The Netherlands have gone back to the halfway line, but I think the right decision is made here. 16-yard hit. Score remains 2-0. There was no deflection, so no goal. So Redfern looking for options once again. Plays it into the midfield. A good little turn now. Plays it wide. Carlisle again into the midfield. Burrows will carry. Looks wide. Finds Jackson. Jackson looks to beat his play on the inside. But he plays back to Schofield. He's under pressure as well. Schofield likes to play on a flat stick there. And a rather cynical smash comes through from Middendorp. So the run down the line by Dinny. Steve Dinny wins a hit 10 minutes, or just over 10 minutes in this fourth quarter. Wales need to find something to get their way back into this game. The inside run, the ball straight through. And the corner is given. Carlisle gets himself into good space in the D. And the Welsh crowd is begging for a goal. The Netherlands just haven't been able to get that third and fourth goal in. They've had all the opportunities, all the possession to do so. And Wales have just hung in there. They've got themselves a chance to pull one back. Burrows at the top. Burrows takes it himself. They go to the zigzag. Carlisle with a shot, saved. Rebound comes in. And the Dutch will now come out through Van Essen. Vreverberg back to Van Esser. And wide again to Otten. Good transfer of the ball. Dutch using the wide areas, bring it in on the 45 degrees. They want a corner. Don't get it. And the breakout now comes from Wales. And Rees just loses it. As Middendorp wins it. Dutch play it into the wide areas. Well picked up. But Wales come away with the hit. Smash it up front. It's Walters who plays it in to Lucignoli. Jackson under pressure. And Stickhack comes in. Burrows. Walters looking for support. Good turn. Lucignoli. So the Dutch are going to substitute their keeper. There's going to be a change. Time has been taken. And Nick van Exel will be substituted. And Burkhout, the number 18, Floris Burkhout, comes into the Dutch goal. So what a time to come in with 8 minutes left and your side 2-0 up. And the Welsh pressing, looking for that goal to put them in one away from an equaliser. So Carlisle trying to find his way through a web of Dutch players. Good defense and well played out of defense over the top by Netherlands. Redfern pinned back. Looks to come out with through Schofield. Schofield into Burrows. So it's Burrows and Redfern. Redfern maybe looking to smash it high for Walters. Walters picks up. Good flat stick tackle. Just under 7 minutes left in this semi-final. Dutch are comfortably ahead now. Just looking to play this game out. Colclough. Out wide, Rees. Rees plays it, but it's too high. Now, the counter-attack. Stewart. Beautifully played out wide. Keeper comes to advance. Tries to close down the space that Vijverberg had. Well done as Adrian Dan comes out and just closes that space down. Vijverberg just shoots wide. So Wales losing running out of time at this stage. Evans. Dutch congesting those middle areas, letting him play wide and work it on the angles on the 45 again. Frins comes out to Verhoef. And lovely little interplay. And now It's Friends again into the circle. Gets still with the ball. Ball comes to the top. And Klein just with a shot and comes off the edge of his sticks. Dixon trying to get through this Dutch defense. He's pushed over, and Lujignoli wants to play quickly. So coming up to 4.5 minutes left in the semi-final. Wales pressing forward. The overhead comes in. Little touch from a Dutch stick. The umpire says it's Dutch ball. So the Dutch played into the midfield. Verhoef through space, looks long, picks out his striker, played to the far post. Oh, the chance goes a-begging for Stewart. Beautifully played. Find the high-line striker, play it to the far post for the tip-in. That chance just goes a-begging. It was Grantama who won the ball high up the field, was able to thread that pass beautifully through to Stewart. So, Colclough. Ball for Carlisle, top of the D for Wales. Still with the ball. Looking for a way into the circle. Flat stick comes. It's a 16-yard. So game slows down. Netherlands will be happy with that. Snell goes over the top. Snell again. Otten drives down the right-hand side on the inside. Middendorp just plays back to Sommers. Sommers on the 45. Plays it into Breekink. Breekink still on the ball. Played to Gratama. Wide to Friends. Ball just nudged into touch. So we're coming up for 1.5 minutes left in the semi-final. Netherlands 2, Wales 0. Friends still in possession, out on the wide areas, happy to keep the ball in those areas, run the clock down. Friends again into the midfield, played out wide by Verhoef, back in, shot comes in from Breekink. Otten to Middendorp. So well worked now for Snell. Finds space out wide, and a tricky one for Friends to deal with out wide. Colclough plays it through, and umpire says play on. Breekink again. Long ball down the middle. Finds Gratama. Gratama can't trap. Smash down the field, and The Netherlands will just take their time with setting up a 16-yard hit with just 7 seconds left on the clock. It's going to be an England-Netherlands final. So, 2 goals from Fokke Middendorp separate Netherlands and Wales. A valiant effort from Wales, but they were just outgunned by a brilliant effort from the Netherlands team. Really well controlled, well organized, and scoring 2 superb goals. So at the end of the game here in Cape Town, the semi-final of the over 55 World Cup, it's Netherlands 2, Wales 0.